I'm Wesley Cameron.
And I'm Nick Ferris.
And this is the Racing Rejects YouTube channel. So we've been making videos for about 2 years now, and
we've never formally introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
So in this video, we kind of want to walk around our shop, show it off, and then talk about our backstory some. And all the meantime, while we're doing that, we're going to talk about our current projects, our past projects, and some of our future projects.
Whatever we see as we walk.
Yeah. This is the shop. My dad built this about 20 years ago. And when I say built, I mean he like cut all the lumber and everything. So
as most of our projects go, from the ground up,
exactly.
Everything was built.
And we worked out of this shop for like years. Like when we were in high school, before we could even drive, we were working on cars in this shop.
Yep.
We didn't have a concrete floor then, but that was a nice addition.
We roughed it. I used to pull the Cougar in right here, and the Demon stayed here for a long time. And it was really a cool hangout when we were in high school, because there'd be a 67 Cougar and a 71 Demon and signs and stuff on the walls, and everybody just come and worked on cars. It was pretty great.
As you can see, it's not very big. We can fit pretty much 2 cars in here, and even then they're usually sticking out of the doors. And not a whole lot of fancy equipment or anything. TIG welder and press, that's about it. That third of the shop is pretty much just a catch-all right now. And then this side of the shop this is where most of the actual metal shaping happens. So got a brake, drill press, a couple grinders, a vise, and I mean that's
sorted parts.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We got
this upper loft is another catch-all for
yeah,
parts for the Demon and stuff like that. Right above Morgan's head, there's some intakes and cylinder heads and stuff.
So right now what we got going on is the Conquest here. You might have seen I've been working on it. This is a several part series. Right now I'm working on the headers. Just finished up a rack and pinion swap. That's mostly everything in the shop. As you can see, we don't have a lot of equipment, but we make do with what we got. I mean, you can see we make aluminum billet brackets out of miter saws and drill presses. So
yep.
We just use what we have and do the best we can.
This is our current best video so far. It wasn't supposed to be. You shot it.
No, it was just a filler video that we hadn't put up a video in a while, and I was like, I'll just shoot one of the Cabover. It's pretty cool. So this is one of my actual customer projects. Is that my uncle owns this, and we don't do this as it's pretty much just a hobby for us. I do flip some cars here and there and have a couple customer projects, and this is one of those. So
it would be a business if we could make enough money on it and had enough time. I'm in school to be an engineer, and Nick builds pools.
Yeah,
so
I do full-time pool construction and then do this stuff on the side. So it's hard to find time to get together, especially since Wesley's he's in college 3 hours away. So
yeah.
But like I say, we do what we can to keep this thing rolling.
Talking about college, I'm at Mississippi State University getting my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and part that goes with that is design work. So I actually put this in SolidWorks. All of this stuff was in SolidWorks as a motion study, so I could see how the axle would react to different forces and stuff. We made anti-squat from that. So we modeled where the center of gravity of the truck would be, did anti-squat stuff. It was way, way, way overkill for this build, but it was fun and taught me some things and taught Nick some things. So that's kind of what we do with everything, is try to go overkill and learn as much as we can, because right now we're only 23 and we've built a lot of projects. So most of that has came from
doing it. Just
doing it.
Learning as we go.
Yeah.
Including this. This was probably the first big thing that I TIG welded on. All this, the bag mounts, the pan hard bar, that was my first big TIG welding project. And by that time we didn't have SolidWorks.
Yeah.
And so I mocked all of this up using plywood. I like to call it, instead of CAD, I call it plaid. That's plywood aided design. And so I made it all out of wood and clamped it on here, made sure everything worked good, and then I was able to make it out of metal, and it worked pretty good.
Yep.
So, and I also did the same thing with the fuel tank mounts and a few other things on this. So that's the Cabover, and walk over here and look at some of our other projects.
While we're walking, we might as well talk a little to our backstory. We met in the public library, the Ronestown Public Library, right over there.
A quarter mile over right there.
Because our parents were both in the Parent-Teacher Association, because we both have older siblings.
Yeah, in the same school at the time.
Yep. And I think the first memory I have of ever meeting you, I remember this. We were playing with Hot Wheels on the windowsill of the library up there. And I don't know what the cars were, but I was like 3, so.
I think actually,
You probably remember
my
it.
memory is a whole lot better than yours. We put together a Caterpillar puzzle.
Oh, dude. I remember that.
That was before we even knew we liked cars.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't really well, I kind of liked cars back then, but really it wasn't until 3rd grade or so
Yeah.
when I had another friend that got me into the Dukes of Hazzard, and I was really into cars after that, watching Dukes of Hazzard. And then we hadn't lost touch, but we were going to different schools at the time, and then we kind of started playing video games and stuff like that, and was like, hey, we both really like cars.
Yeah.
So,
Then like 4th and 5th grade and all that. I remember we had our first man cave, which was the hole that was over there.
It's just got a bunch of spare parts now.
I wonder if it's still there, but you remember the list of stuff that we had decided for our first cars? This is when we were just a little older.
Oh, I have no clue.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I remember writing it down. I wanted a fastback Mustang. I wanted it to have an Edelbrock intake and all this stuff. And of course, it was a $50,000 car. But when I was 8 years old or 7 years old, I didn't know that. I'm surprised, looking back, I knew what an Edelbrock intake was.
Yeah. But that was about, what, 5th, 6th grade?
Yeah.
And we pulled our first motor right over there out of a big GMC 2-ton truck.
Yeah.
And that was the motor that is right in there, the
Yep.
350 Chevy that we showed you. And we tore it down in that shed over there where a lot of our parts and spare parts and stuff are now. And recently, just a few years ago, we did the same thing again with Wesley's flathead.
Yeah.
So,
And took a remake picture. That was cool. So this is my BMW 540i. It's stick shift. I bought it thinking that I could flip it, just put a crank sensor on it and flip it, and turned out that wasn't the case. But there's a lot of videos on this, so if you're new to the channel, you should go check this out.
we pulled the motor, had to bore and sleeve the block, and we just recently got it running. It's not 100% yet, but we did burnouts in it, so
We
that
did
counts.
nasty burnouts in it.
And this here is my Demon that we've mentioned. I bought this in high school before I could even drive.
Yep.
And we terrorized the county between this and the Cougar. And I tore it apart when I was like 18, and this is just a textbook of I want it right, so it never is going to get done.
Yep.
So
This really pushed me to get the Cougar, because I remember when Nick got this car, and I was kind of looking already, but once this happened, I was like, I have to get an old car.
And you mentioned the paper we wrote down when we were like 12.
Yes.
Actually, I think it was on a pizza box that we wrote down exactly what we wanted on our cars, and mine was a 71 Demon. I didn't have one at the time, but a few years later I did buy one. And so that is my dream car, and it will be done soon. This is my newest acquisition. Well, this, and I bought 2 cars in the past week, so we'll talk about the other one later. 30 Model A, long-term project. Have ideas, don't really know what I'm going to do with it though, but didn't want to pass it up. Pretty solid for a Model A, fairly original condition, so I'm probably going to keep it full body, don't want to chop it or anything, and keep the patina and all that.
What's the other car you bought?
The Bradley.
Oh, the Bradley.
I also bought the Bradley GT, which is pretty much just a Volkswagen kit car, but it has gold wing doors, so it's cool, and it was cheap.
Really cheap.
CJ2A. I want to get this one done sooner rather than later, but still collecting parts for it. Plan on using pretty much just old school Jeep stuff on it, but it'll be a good little knock-around Jeep, not going a lot of power or anything. This is my first vehicle ever. 89 Dodge, 3/4 ton, 4-wheel drive, long bed, and gas burner. We did a whole lot of mud riding back there in this when we were kids.
Oh, we definitely have pictures of that.
Oh yeah. Right now we're doing 1-ton axles, and the only thing holding this back at the moment is I'm looking for a transmission for it, which are expensive and hard to find. So you can get them all day long if you want to spend, you know, thousands of dollars, but I'm looking for a good deal on one of those. And motor's already rebuilt, ready to go in this truck, so that one's going to be probably pretty soon on the channel.
Yep.
And other projects we got going on, we mentioned the Bradley, the Cougar. We'll go look at it when we go look at the machine shop.
Probably one of the nicest vehicles we have so far.
Yeah, it was. It's been.
Yeah, now it's got cat prints all over it.
Yeah, it's been neglected the past couple of years.
Okay, I have a backstory. Remember, it starts right here. You remember the lawnmower race?
Yes.
How old were we?
We were 4th grade, 5th grade.
Yeah, I think it was. No, it was 5th grade because I remember I got my lawnmower going in 4th grade.
Okay.
So I think it was about 5th grade.
Yeah, we had the bright idea to race lawnmowers, but I didn't know Wesley was going to have a cheater lawnmower.
That 5th grade season, that was a good one for me. I went from first learning how to rebuild a carburetor to spanking some booty at a lawnmower race.
Yeah, mine was an actual lawnmower. He pulled the deck and then pulled the governor completely off the carburetor.
My first hot rod.
Yeah. So it would run about 10 grand. and by the time I had made one lap, he was working on his like second one. But then the carburetor fell off. So because it was
so on
rattling.
a Briggs and Stratton, it's got a centrifugal governor that doesn't let it go over like 3,000 RPM. And my smart, 10-year-old self or whatever, decided that if you took the spring off, I just found out that it would spin faster. And I wasn't smart enough yet to understand that engines blow up. I just knew it goes faster when I take the spring off. So, to Nick's amazement, I'm sitting at the starting line and I'm holding the governor back so it's not just like revving 10 grand. And then our parents say go. And I let go of that thing and I was eating. It was going so fast, my little 10-year-old self, I remember going around his barn and there was like ruts where it had been muddy and I was like bouncing over the ruts and the hood was like coming off. It was awesome. But that motor vibrated itself to death after about 2 laps.
If you are vibrating so much that the carburetor literally falls off, then
yeah, the bolts vibrated out of the carburetor and it was sucking so hard that it was still on the motor, and then I started hitting bumps and when it come past the port, it just fell off and the lawnmower died. Over here we have a little bit of a boneyard. I can talk a little about the Beamer that blew up. That's my M50 motor that kicked the dust when I shifted in the second instead of 4th.
Which was originally my motor, and it ran perfectly when I had it. But
well,
this one,
you didn't shift like I did.
Exactly, I shifted into the right gear. I didn't go down when I was supposed to go up.
Hey, it takes talent to go past the synchro and get that thing in.
So, old Conquest motor, Caddy motor, which I don't think we've ever shown. That is a, 472 Caddy?
Yeah.
Same as a 500, only smaller. And we're going to find a home for that one day. But this is where we used to work out of. This was our original shop pretty much. So right now it's just another catch-all for old car parts. So now we're getting to some of our other projects and the other boneyard. I did a whole video of walking around this, so if you want to see more on all the stuff out here, go check out that video. But here is another future project, the old Crown Vic here. There's a wasp.
Oh, you got him.
Okay, take 2. This is a Crown Vic that we bought not too long ago. I think you bought it, right? And then I bought it from you.
So I owned this for a week, and made some money on it off of Nick.
I don't even think you owned it. I mean, like, saw it when you owned it.
No, I never saw it.
Yeah.
Like,
he bought it sight unseen. I went and got it and then bought it.
yeah.
But I have a love affair for Crown Vics, even though I'm a Mopar guy, and the drivetrain in these are pretty much a hunk of junk. But the chassis is brilliant. I put a 1960 F100 on a Crown Vic chassis because it's such a great chassis, and God, I miss that truck so much.
Yeah, we shortened the frame like 5 inches.
Yeah, 5 inches.
And it had AC.
And we long hauled the entire Power Tour 2016 in that truck and never missed a beat really.
Other than 17.
It was 16.
You probably remember better than me.
Yeah, it might have been 17.
No, I think I got 16 on the Cougar.
Yeah, Cougar was 16,
that was
17 was. Another thing, the Deuce and a Half. We used to drive this when we were in like 8th grade. Here's a funny story. We decided to drive this through a pond. There's a pond about 40 yards that way. And we got it stuck. We got it hung up on a tree in the pond.
There ain't no telling, but my thumb probably didn't heal correctly after that.
These things do not have power steering. The M35A2 had no power steering. And Wesley was backing it out. I was pulling it out with the forklift. And I forgot to tell him to keep his thumbs outside of the steering wheel.
You had told me. I just forgot.
There you go. And that thing reared up on the log, and the wheel just started. And it jammed, what, both of your thumbs?
Yeah, it was spinning like crazy, you know, this way. And I went in for it. I was like, ah! And when I grabbed it, so this hand was fine. It just knocked it out of the way. With this hand, it hit my thumb, and it was swollen up for a long time.
Here's another future project, and sort of a past project too. It just wasn't it.
This was supposed to be the parts car for my Cougar. I bought this with my Cougar, but it's, as you can see, pretty beat, so I didn't use much off of it. And then I wanted to scrap it, and Nick decided to save it, so I told him he could have it.
Yeah. So I have plans for this one that you will definitely see on the channel.
Oh yeah.
But we'll get more into that when the time comes.
That might, should I say this? It might go on drag week.
Yeah, maybe.
So if you've been watching the channel, you probably saw the video on this where Nick got his face burned off by the carburetor.
Mother!
Get out of the way!
It blew up right in my face. Am I singed my eyebrows here?
Yeah, your eyelashes are burnt pretty good.
I think I might have. Whew. That didn't work too good.
That was really the only important part of that video.
Yeah, we really wanted to turbo this thing and, you know, blow up the slant six. I'm pretty sure we blew up the slant six when we were driving it though, because I floated the valves a bit. It was smoking pretty bad too, so that motor's pretty much wore out. But I have a plan that is for this truck. It's a little more high end than we normally do on the channel. But
we have more than a plan. We have most of the parts we need.
Yeah, we just have to find time to do it.
We just got to get some other stuff out of the way.
We're being a little ambiguous because I don't want to give it away quite yet. But I will say this, it will not be lowered.
Nope.
And it will not have 8 cylinders.
And
it won't be a diesel.
I will do a lot of CAD work on it. I was going to say something else, but there's a lot of design that's going to go into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, keep your eyes out on that one. So I think that's pretty much everything here.
Machine shop time?
Yeah, let's go to the machine shop.
Yep. So when we're not in Nick's shop working on stuff, we're usually over here. This is the shop behind my house, and this is where we do all of our machining work. So all the machining stuff we did on the Beamer, and this is a flathead V8 that we bored. This is my dad, who is working on a boring bar. But anything machinist related happens over here. Over here we have a seat and guide machine, and also a valve grinder over here, and a lathe in the back.
We don't have a whole lot of high-end equipment or anything. This is just we're making things happen with what we got.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure every piece of equipment, as far as machining in here, is older than we are.
Oh yeah.
But
Which
they
is
still
not saying much.
no, but they still work really well, and we have someone that can keep them running. Our secret weapon here.
Yep. This is my dad. They don't like cameras, apparently. So this is my 1967 Cougar. I got this when I was 16 because Nick got the Demon, and I just had to have something. I couldn't afford a fastback Mustang because fastback Mustangs are really expensive. So I got a Mercury Cougar.
Same thing, only a whole lot cheaper.
Yeah, and it's got a 289. I put 5-speed in it. This door had a dent that was 8 inches inward. I did all the body work. I've done a lot of work for this car. So it has a 289 with a pretty big cam and intake and ported heads and stuff. And after I did all that and put these semi-grippy tires on it, I blew the T5 up. So it's been sitting here for over a year now because I'm in college and I don't have the money to fix it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But I think by the end of the year, this should be running.
I can guarantee you by the end of the year it'll be running. And I have a reason that I can't say.
We did long haul this before the cam, after the T5 and everything, but before the cam it was just a stock high compression 289, and we long hauled from, what was that, 2017, 2016?
2016, we went from Gonzales, Louisiana to Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah. So that was our first long haul, and we were able to check that off of our bucket list.
The 101 car things to do before you die.
Yeah, that is our goal in life, is to finish the 101 car guy things to do before you die.
Yep.
Which was in Hot Rod magazine, what, 08 or so?
Long time ago. Freiberger was part of it, a bunch of hot
All
rod
the
guys.
old hot rod guys put that list together. So that is our goal, to finish that list.
And I think I'm
around
at 24,
25.
So quarter of the way there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're walking up on Big Blue. This is my 1963, 64-ish F700 Cabover. I got it for free. Well, basically free. We worked really hard on it, but I personally think the coolest thing about it is this, which I hope there's no walls, but
Gonna be like the Crown Vic all over again?
yep. Maybe not. Oh, no walls. It's got a heavy-duty FE330 motor and some sort of really heavy-duty transmission. The motor runs, or used to run.
Doesn't move. Clutch
Yeah.
is stuck.
Clutch is stuck, but
We had a really hard time getting this thing home because it was about 10 foot longer than it already is, because after the axle there was just a whole bunch of frame back there that we bobbed off. But it was too wide to fit on my trailer, so we had to get like a forklift and a little mini excavator to lift up on either side of it and then roll the trailer under it to get over the fenders on the trailer.
yeah.
So,
And I collapsed a 3-ton floor jack here trying to get it off.
yeah, trying to get it off.
But anyways, the main part about this is we're gonna try to make a really big version of an Econoline with it.
Yeah.
My original idea was gonna make a ramp truck, and I was gonna haul the Cougar on the back, and then somebody already did that, so I'll make a big Econoline.
Yeah. Gasser, big blower, maybe like I want the Ford, what was it, the GAA, wasn't that the big tank V8? That would be perfect.
Yep. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. If you've made it this far in the video, then you've been formally introduced to myself and Nick and what the Racing Rejects channel is all about.
And yeah, you've seen most of our projects. There's probably a few we left out. Some on purpose, some because we've probably forgotten we even own them.
Yeah.
There's a lot around here, but the real reason why we're doing this video is because Wesley saw a little thing, a post that somebody put on the Hot Rod Power Tour Facebook group.
Yeah. So they put something on the group that was actually from Pilgrim Media, who I've been talking to, and it was about the Discovery Channel wants 2 guys with a shop and a little bit of know-how to make a car show, and I feel like we're gonna fit that bill pretty nicely.
We sort of have a shop, and
I emailed them and I told them, okay, we have a little bit of experience. We've been doing this for about 10 years, a little before we started driving, and I have a lot of CAD experience, and fab experience and machining experience, and Nick's got a lot of fab work experience and body work and business running and just vision of, I can take these two unrelated cars and put them together. So I think we would be a good fit, and so I hit them up and they told us to send a video in.
I feel like we can fill a market because there's a lot of young YouTubers out there, but not a lot of them do their own work to the degree that we do, because we're like machining brackets from just using what we have, like miter saws and drill presses, and you know, we don't have high dollar equipment, but we make do with what we got, and we have a lot of passion for cars, and we're going to get the job done no matter what. So we can show how to do things on a budget, and we can do high quality when we need to, or we can just get things done, you know, with zip ties and duct tape if we have to.
Nothing I've seen anybody else do that we do is every car we build, it never leaves our shop. So like the Cougar, when I built it and I was 16, it never touched another professional shop. I did everything from body work to upholstery to build the engine, make a transmission work. I did everything myself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our style.
Yeah, we like to touch every part of the car, even painting. We've painted stuff in this shop right here.
Yep.
And we've buffed cars, and we're not the best at body work. We're more into building and fabricating things, but we'll do anything when it comes to automotive, just to show you that you can do this if you have the passion and then a little bit of know-how. Just do a little research. You can do anything.
Basic tools. If you have a welder and grinders and stuff, because we don't have more than the basic tools. We don't even have a lift.
I built an entire vehicle with a 110 MIG welder and an angle grinder, pretty much.
Yep.
And we took it on power tour and long hauled it. So.
Yep. And it had AC, which was the best part of that whole thing. So I think we would be a good fit for TV and a TV show about building cars.
Yeah, and we have a lot of chemistry because we grew up together. I mean, from the time we were toddlers, so we're basically like brothers.
Yep.
And we have a ton of passion for cars. So, I mean, this is what we're going to be doing regardless.
More importantly, I just want to get paid to build cars.
I just want to get paid to doing videos. We've been making videos for 2 years and never got paid for it.
Well, that's not true. We've
made
earned $21.
Oh, yes. $21.
On YouTube.
YouTube, making the big bucks.
Yep.
So, anyway, thanks for...
That was in my eyeball.
As Wesley picks the fly out of his eyeball. Thanks for watching this video.
Woo!
If you want to contact... Dang it, he's getting in my eyeball now.
Okay, I got you. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to get in contact with us, our email is theracerejects@gmail.com. On Instagram and Facebook, we are The Racing Rejects.
No, just at Racing Rejects.
At Racing Rejects. And I don't know what to say.
Oh, God.